Okay. Hello and welcome. I am so glad you are here. Thank you to Shema for setting us up and encouraging us to do this. This is our 1 hour. I'm going to go ahead and set my timer so that I know. This is our 1 hour aroma yoga mini session. And my name is Kimberly Bernstein. I am a Young Living Essential Oils Platinum Leader, and I've also been a yoga instructor for 8 years. Wow. And so it is a great passion and a great joy for me to be able to incorporate the many ways, including yoga asana, pranayama, and essential oils, as well as polarity therapy, that I keep myself relatively grounded, especially in these challenging times. So I'm excited to share this with all of you. I'm so happy that you're here. This is not a typical yoga class. You will be on your mat, off your mat. We are going to work on all 7 chakras. So your chakra system is your energy system. We have 7 main chakras that we know about. There are many more energy points. You can't see them, but we know that they relate to having our basic needs met and being able to keep ourselves in alignment and being able to evolve spiritually. And so we're going to touch on each one briefly just to give ourselves an hour of a little bit of a tune-up. And what is fun is that you can take what you will from this. You can take some of the exercises and maybe incorporate them into your days. You can come back to this video. You can use the oils outside of aroma yoga, whether you are new to the oils or you already have them, or you fall in love with them through this practice. I know Shema was sending out some mini kits to people. I also know that there have been some challenges with getting stuff shipped, both because Young Living in Utah is keeping people at huge distances to keep people safe, and so there are less people, and because of just the general things that happen in shipping in these days. So we are going to get started with grabbing some frankincense if you have it. Again, if you don't have oils, don't worry. We're just so happy you're here and wanting you to get the most out of this practice. So don't feel like you're missing out if you don't have the oils. But if you do have them, go ahead and if you have oils but you don't have frankincense, grab whatever helps you feel grounded. Perhaps you have lavender and grab some of that. So in Eastern traditions, your left hand is your receiving hand. So you're going to put, if you're using the oils, you're going to grab a drop of your frankincense or your other oil and put it in your left hand. First, actually, before we even do that, I should probably mention that you'll want to find a comfortable seat. And I'm hoping that sitting is comfortable for everybody. If it's not, then you can lay on your back or you can sit in a chair. Child's pose might be a little, in a typical yoga class, I will tell people they can take child's pose. That might be a little odd for this particular setting, but find a way that you can be comfortable so that we can take a couple of moments just to ground ourselves and invite in this practice. So I have frankincense on my left hand, then I'm going to circle 3 times with my right, either because I made it up that it helps move the energy or it's a known practice. Either way, it seems to work for me, so I'll invite you to do the same. Now that you have frankincense on both hands, you'll create your scent tent, bringing your hands to your nose. I don't do this while I'm teaching because I'm imagining that it's hard enough to hear me anyway. But you want to create your scent tent by bringing your hands to your nose. And just close your eyes and begin to tune into your breath. I want you to take a couple of moments and don't do anything specific to your breath. Don't change anything, simply notice. Notice if you're breathing fully and deeply, or if your breathing is restricted, or if your mind is wandering. No judgment whatsoever, just noticing. Notice your breath. Invite all of you, the the shadow part, the joyous parts, the parts that want to cry and kick and scream, the parts that are so hopeful, all of it is welcome here. Invite it in. I want to invite you to begin with this idea that today is a perfect day. And miracles beget miracles, and wonders never cease. Begin to deepen your breath. So you're taking full deep breaths in through your nose, filling up your lungs from the very top down to the bottom. And full deep exhales where you're pushing all of the stale air, thoughts, and ideas out from the bottom of your lungs up through the top and releasing. So with each inhale, you're filling your lungs with prana, with life energy, growing longer and taller. And with each exhale, you're releasing. And for a moment, bring your hands together at your heart center. Lift your heart to your thumbs, press your thumbs to your heart. And we'll take a moment to create heart-brain coherence. Our brains want to run the show, but they're really not in charge. And if we take this couple moments to do this simple practice of breathing in through the back of your sternum, filling up with prana, with life energy, and out through the center of your heart, imagining a golden healing light is emanating from the center of your heart out into the multiverse. Again, full, complete deep breaths in through the back of your sternum, filling you up, igniting all of the life force in you. And exhale, sending out healing energy into the multiverse. As you continue to do this, bring your focus to something or someone that you are grateful for. It may be continued thoughts on one particular thing or person, or it may run more like a list. There's no right or wrong. Breathing in fully and completely through the back of your heart and out through the center of your heart, focusing on gratitude. Good. It just takes a couple of moments to bring into line a connection between your heart and your brain, so you're moving in a heart-centered way. Now bring your focus to creating an intention, a simple thought or an idea that you'd like to employ throughout the rest of this practice and into your day. Take a full deep breath in, fill up with your intention, and a deep send it out. Let's do that one more time. Big full breath in, fill up, and a deep send it out. Bien. Release your hands to your sides and very gently, slowly, with your gaze down, begin to open your eyes. By opening your eyes slowly, you send the message to your brain that there's no reason to jump back into a fight or flight stance, and you can maintain the relaxation you've created. Good. So this is an interactive class, and we are on Zoom. Feel free to type into the chat or unmute yourself anything that you noticed about using the frankincense if you've used it, anything you noticed about that calming, anything that you want to share about your intention, and then we'll get going into some movement. I'm going to get off my mat so I can come see if anybody's typing anything in, but please don't be shy. I get tired of the sound of my own voice. All right. We are going to be shy. Okay. I'm so happy y'all are here. All right. So you may have seen the list of oils. We are going to use one oil for each chakra. Again, if you don't have the oil, that doesn't mean that you're not getting the benefit in any sort of way. But we're going to incorporate all of these things as now we've created our group field by all setting our intentions together. And this is an opportunity to enhance the receptivity and wakeful presence that we get out of movement. So we're going to start with our root chakra, which is right down at your perineum, right at the base of your spine. If you imagine and focus there, we are going to use our Valor. This is one of my absolute favorite oils. So again, your left hand is your receiving hand. I should have probably mentioned, if you find that you're sensitive to the oils or you're not quite comfortable putting them on your skin, it may be a good idea to grab some tissues or not toilet paper, because that's in short supply in the US, I've heard, and I think you all are in the US. I'm in Mexico. But I think you all are in the US, so maybe not your toilet paper, but you can grab a couple of cotton balls if you'd like, and put your oils on your cotton pads. When we do this class in person, we hand out cotton pads so that A, people don't have to put it on their skin if they don't want, and B, then you can take it with you. So I'm going to put my Valor in my left hand. Again, left hand is your receiving hand. And we are going to go through a sun salutation, both because we activate our root chakras through poses like downward facing dog and warrior one, and also because it's good to have some movement. If that's not comfortable for you, I'm not in the room with you to be able to guide every movement. Please know that in yoga practice, if something is uncomfortable, that's okay. You can breathe through it. If anything causes you any sort of pain at all, or you know that that posture is not good for you, feel free to stay in. I'm going to demonstrate in case you're brand new to yoga. Child's pose is a great one if you can get into it. So from hands and knees, my big toes are touching. My knees are out pretty wide. My hips are back. I'll walk my hands forward and bring my forehead to the earth. Your forehead may not reach the earth, at which point I'm going to encourage you to grab a pillow if you don't have a block, because you want your forehead to make contact with something. My hips touch my heels, yours may not, that's okay. This is a comfortable pose for anything to wait out, anything that doesn't feel right for you. You might find your hands and knees or just a comfortable seat. But we'll get started with our Valor at the front of our mats. I am a yoga teacher, not a camera person, so I am aware that in some places here, you can't see my head. Sorry. I've been teaching on Zoom for a month and a half, and I still haven't figured out where to place the camera. All right, so find your mountain. We're gonna take a moment to really find our mountain at the front of our mat. So for some people, big toes touching, slight space between your heels is going to be where you feel rooted and grounded. And for others, you're going to want your feet hips width distance apart. This is play. This is fun. I hope that this is one of the most fun moments so far of your day, but not the most fun because you have a whole day ahead of you. So find the place where you feel super rooted and grounded. And if I came and shoved you, you wouldn't fall. Go ahead and lift your toes. Press all of the corners of your feet into the earth and feel your arches lift. Feel your shin muscles hug into the bone and your kneecaps lift. Rotate your inner thighs toward one another, and I actually take my hands and rotate them. This has been a really huge thing for me because it creates a lot of space in the sacrum and it feels really nice. So then you want to broaden your sacrum and draw your navel in. Lift your shoulders over your hips. Reach the crown of your head up to the sky. Now wiggle your toes and lower them, but keep this engagement. So the root chakra is a connection with the earth. It's where we have our basic needs met. It's where we connect with a feeling of security versus fear. And even when there is an energy of fear in the multiverse, we can still connect to that sense of security and then send that out into the multiverse. So finding your mountain, imagine that there is a cord that goes from the base of your spine down into the earth. And then go ahead with your strong, tall mountain and once again create your set 10. Take a couple of deep breaths of that Valor in and out, finding your center. And if this feels like enough work and connection to your root chakra, you are free to stay here. I'm going to lead us through a sun salutation, actually sun salutation B, so we can get in warrior one. So inhale, lift your arms up, reach your ribs off of your hips, fingertips to the sky, spiral your pinky fingers toward the back of your mat or your space. Exhale, draw your navel in. And take another inhale, maybe take a side bend, reach and lift, find some space between those ribs and hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, you'll send your hips forward as you lift your heart and cactus your arms. A tiny little bit of a back bend that's really more of a heart lift. And as you inhale, imagine your heart shining up toward the sky. Exhale, your hips go forward. Inhale, reach up and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot to protect your lower back and melt your torso over your thighs. Your hands may come to your thighs or your shins. Toe heel your feet out to at least hips width distance apart. If they're not there already, we'll take ragdoll variation. Hopefully this feels great for everybody. Your knees are super bent. The crown of your head reaches toward the earth. Your tail reaches toward the sky. Your hands can be at your thighs or your shins, or maybe you take hold of opposite biceps. Let your head be super heavy. Big, full, deep breath in. Fill up with that sense of security. And a big, deep breath out. Release. Let go of fear. Good. On your inhale, find a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your thighs. Reach the crown of your head forward and your tail back. Exhale, draw your navel in. And again here, rotate your inner thighs toward one another. You can even do it manually. You have a nice long tabletop spine here. Imagine that your family is hungry and you want to serve them dinner and your back is the table and you don't want to spill the soup. So your back is super long. You should feel some lengthening and stretching in the backs of your hamstrings, and they're super grateful for it. Take another inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. We'll step back to plank pose. If this is not comfortable for you, bring your knees down or even take child's pose or tabletop. Those of us who are okay with it are in plank, shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees, and we're breathing here. Here's a fun thing to think about. Your plank is the same as your mountain, it's just a different orientation to gravity. Take an inhale here. Exhale, arms in, elbows back, and you'll come all the way down to the earth, knees, chest, chin. You're all the way at the earth. Now you'll tuck your toes under so your big toes are touching and your toenails are pressing in to the earth. Your fingertips are under your shoulders. Your elbows are back like chicken wings. On your inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra. Reach your heart forward. Again, if this causes any discomfort, don't do it. With each inhale, reach your heart forward. Very little weight in your hands. You may even lift them. With each exhale, press your toenails into the earth, rooting to rise. Activating that root chakra. Take another inhale. Exhale. We'll come to downward facing dog by untucking our toes, lifting our hips, and making our bodies the shape of an upside down V. If this does not work for you, child's pose. This is an opportunity to connect with our breath, to connect with our root chakras. You should feel comfortable. So if you're in downward facing dog, bend one knee, straighten the other. Check in with yourself, full deep breaths. Inhale, lift your right leg. I'm doing the opposite because I'm facing you. Exhale, go bend your right knee and bring it forward between your hands. If it doesn't reach, put it down where it does comfortably go and help it get there. On your inhale, you'll find a low lunge. So your right knee is over your right ankle. Crown of your head reaches forward, tail back, pressing through your left foot. Take another inhale. And exhale, you'll turn your left foot out about 45 degrees and really root down. On your inhale, you'll rise up to warrior one. Your hands can be at your heart, or maybe cactus, or maybe rising up. So you'll stay in downward facing dog. For my friends who that was not comfortable, let me show you. You could always come to mountain, and then for right leg forward, left leg steps back. That would be another option for getting into warrior one if getting there from down dog didn't work for you. Breathe here. Again, imagine that cord that goes from the base of your spine down to the center, the core of the earth. As you inhale, there is a healing white light of security that rises up from the core of the earth, reaching to your root and up through the crown of your head into the heavens. And as you exhale, you're sending that sense of security out into the multiverse. One more inhale. Exhale. Take your arms down to surround your right foot. Some of you will step your right foot back to plank. Others of you will step your left foot forward and come to mountain if you're not comfortable. If you're in plank, you'll inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Arms in, elbows back. Lower down, halfway or all the way. And on your inhale, you can take cobra again, or if upward facing dog is in your practice, you may take that. One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. If this doesn't work for you, then you can be in mountain and step back when I cue warrior one. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, bend your left knee, step your left foot forward between your hands. If it doesn't reach, help it get there. Left knee is over your left ankle. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. As you exhale, draw your left hip back, right hip forward, and turn your right foot out. Inhale, warrior one, rising up. So if you were in mountain, you can bend your left knee and step your right foot back. Breathing here. Maybe bringing your hands to your nose to create your sentent, connecting to the valor, to your sense of security. Noticing what's true for you right now. Good, so coming out of warrior one, where you can complete the sunset salutation as I cue it, or if you're done with that, you may just step your right foot forward and meet us in mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, arms down to surround your left foot, step it back to plank and lower down halfway or all the way. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, lifting your heart. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can, if you step to mountain, take 3 breaths here. If you're in down dog or child pose, take your breaths here. Again, connecting with that root. Inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands if they're not there already. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Very, very, very bent knees. Let your head be super heavy. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Inhale back to your halfway lift. Find that super long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale with your super bent knees. Reach your arms back like you're downhill skiing. This is a really nice way to come up safely. Exhale, mountain pose. Straighten your legs. Bring your hands to your heart. Find that strong, tall mountain. Root your feet down. Engage those leg muscles. Close your eyes and tune into what's true for you right now. Good. We're going to flow a little bit more quickly through some of the other chakras because that took a long time, and that's fine, but I want to be mindful of your time. But if anybody has anything you noticed, anything you want to comment, unmute yourself or type it in. I'll dance for you in the meantime. All right. I've got somebody in tree pose, which is awesome. All right. So coming in to working on our sacral chakra, which is your second chakra. Yellow is the color of sacral chakra. Red is the color of root chakra. And we're actually going to use our lemon oil. I'm going to give you a little bit of a secret. Orange oil would actually be my first choice for working on our sacral chakra, but we wanted to pick oils that you all would have access to or that would be most accessible, and we figured it would be easier to get you lemon. So lemon goes into your left hand. Before you put your lemon in your left hand, know that lemon, citrus oils in general, are cold pressed from the rind. They do cause photosensitivity. So please, if you're putting lemon oil in your hand, don't go out and shine the sun on it because it does cause photosensitivity. You may want to put this one on a tissue, but if you're putting it on your hands, that's fine too. Certainly don't put lemon all over your face and then go lay in the sun. Create your sentent. Find your mountain pose. Create your sentent. Just notice. So your sacral chakra is your second chakra, and it relates to the element of water. If you've ever noticed, water takes the shape of whatever container it's in. So this is your relationship. This is how you relate and interact with others. It's also your center of movement and your center of sexuality. So before we even move into cat-cow, I want everybody to just find their movement. Close your eyes, pretend we're not watching you. You can even turn off your camera if you want. This is where I like to play some music and dance, but we only have so much time, so we're not going to do that. So just wiggle it out, shake it out, have some fun. All right. And then come to your hands and knees. So your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over your knees. Your fingers are spread pretty wide and you're pressing down to the knuckle bases of your hands. You might imagine that you have a bumblebee under your palm you don't want to squish. On your inhale, send your belly toward the earth. Reach the crown of your head and your tail up towards the sky. This is cow pose, vaca in Espanol. On your exhale, cow pose, no, cat pose, gato. Round your spine, press the earth away. Good, you may close your eyes here. We're gonna move through several rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, cow, belly drops, crown and tail lift. Exhale, cat, round and curl. Notice what's true for you in these movements. Maybe circle your hips, just noticing without judgment any areas where you're feeling a little more tightness and constriction, and any areas where you're flowing more fluidly. There's no judgment here. We're just noticing. You might, in the name of creating that sacral chakra movement, do some figure eights with your hips, allowing yourself to connect with your own center of relationships, with that power of the flow. This is flow versus stagnation. Think about stagnant water and what that brings versus flow. And bring your intention to anything that you can do to be in flow. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale. Some of you will come to downward facing dog. Others of you will make your way to standing in whatever way is comfortable. But if you'd like a couple breaths in downward facing dog, go ahead and take that. And then inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees, and exhale, step, jump, or float your feet to your hands. Inhale to that halfway lift, finding that really long spine again. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, knees bend, reach back like you're skiing. Exhale, straighten your legs, hands to your heart center. Find that mountain wherever you are. If standing isn't comfortable, you can sit and find a long, tall spine. Close your eyes. Notice what's true for you. You've activated your center of security, your center of flow. Good. Open your eyes, wiggle it out, comment or say anything you'd like to say. I'm looking. Okay. Feel free to unmute yourself. Next, we are coming to our solar plexus. This is your center of fire, your center of personal power. If you know me in person, you know this is one of my favorites. I'm a little bit fiery. We're going to use peppermint. The element for solar plexus is in fact fire, and this is your center of passion. So it can be real easy with all of the things that we're bombarded with and all of the changes that have happened to lose our sense of passion, to lose our sense of personal power. Imagine if everybody on this call ignited that. What would that do when that sends the energy out there into the multiverse? So again, left hand is your receiving hand. You can take your peppermint into your left hand. Create your scent tent. From your mountain, close your eyes. Breathe in that peppermint, that sense of personal power, your personal fire, and then breathe it out. Notice what's true for you in this moment. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a breathing exercise. It's called ha breath. So you're gonna take your feet hips width distance apart and really root them down. On your inhale, you're gonna reach your arms up. If this doesn't work for your shoulders, you can take cactus arms. Inhale, arms up, come onto the balls of your feet. And as you exhale, it's like this, ha! So again, inhale onto the balls of your feet, arms up, exhale, ha! If this doesn't work for you, feel free to just stand in mountain and inhale and exhale, ha! We're gonna do this for about a minute. Don't worry about how still you are, nobody cares. Inhale onto the balls of your feet, exhale, ha! Louder, better. Your personal power, take an inhale, breathe it in, exhale, ha! 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 Can you inhale something amazing about yourself and exhale, ha! Send it out. Ha! Ha! 3 more. Ha! Best ones. Ha! Ha! And find your mountain. Notice what's true for you right now. All right, y'all. Anybody have any feedback about that? How did that feel? What was that like? Are you feeling empowered? Yeah. Okay, I'm getting waves. That's good. Yay. All right. So we've worked what sometimes are considered the lower chakras, your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. We're moving on to our heart chakra. That's your fourth chakra. And that is sometimes considered a bridge from the lower to the upper chakras. We're going to grab our lavender. This is your center of understanding. Huh. How about that? Within all of us is a center of understanding. We may not be able to access it entirely intellectually all of the time, but it's there. So grab your lavender. Lavender is a super gentle and compassionate oil. Isn't that interesting? You've worked your center of passion, and now moving up into the higher chakras, we come to our center of understanding, which as whole humans we need to do. We need to know what lights us up. We need to know what creates our security and our relationships and what lights us up, and then come to this place of compassion and understanding. So create your senten in your mountain pose. Breathe your lavender in. What would it be like right now to tap into your sense of understanding, of compassion? You take a big, full, deep breath in and fill yourself up with compassion for whatever your story is. It's so important. And a big, deep breath out and send all of that compassion out into the multiverse. Perhaps the breath in to fill yourself with compassion for yourself is even more challenging. Do it again. And a big send it out. Good. So you may have noticed when we did our sun salutation in the beginning, when we did cobra and upward facing dog, I had you reach your heart forward, and it was a heart opener. We're going to move back into cobra to activate our heart chakra. If getting on the floor is not comfortable for you, you may remember that we did this where we raised our hands and then sent our hips forward and lifted our hearts. That would work too. Otherwise, I'm going to lead you into a sun salutation to get us a little bit more movement, because some of you may want that. No judgment. If you don't, just don't do it. Otherwise, and we'll make our way to cobra. So inhale, reach up, grow long fingertips to the sky, ribs off hips. And take an exhale, hips forward, lift your heart, cactus your arms. So this is activating your heart chakra. You are sending your heart up toward the sky, toward the heavens. Maybe you stay here. Inhale, reach up, grow long. Maybe you follow me. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot to protect your lower back. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that super long spine. Exhale, if you're coming with me, you'll point at your hands, step or jump your feet back to plank and lower down halfway, actually no, all the way, knees, chest, chin to the earth. Fingertips are under your shoulders once again. Tops of your feet are pressing into the earth. Toenails, big toes touching. Inhale, your heart lifts and reach it forward. Reach forward, that center of understanding and compassion. Exhale, root down. Take another inhale. Exhale, either hands and knees, child's pose, or downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths wherever you are. Good. We're making our way to the front of our mat, back to mountain. So if you're in down dog with me, you'll inhale, gaze forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step jump or float your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Long spine, crown of your head forward, tail back. Exhale, fold again. Inhale with your knees still super bent, reach your arms back like you're skiing. I find this to be the safest way to come up. Exhale, mountain pose, hands to your heart, straighten your legs. Close your eyes and tune into your breath. Notice what's true for you right now. Good. To open eyes, wiggle, shake, unmute yourself, give me a thumbs up, let me know you're here. Let me know if you have any observation. Woohoo! Yay! I love feedback, y'all. All right. We are coming to our throat. Thieves. This is your spiritual connection. Isn't that kind of interesting that your throat is actually your spiritual connection? So you've come to the center of compassion and understanding, and then you reach the center of your throat, which is your spiritual connection. I think that's so important to remember, that when you speak, when you use your voice, it's a spiritual connection. If you have thieves, you're going to grab some and bring it to your left hand. Also interesting is that I have loved thieves for 6 years. I found it incredibly useful. We use it for so many things. If you need more information about keeping yourself healthy in this time, reach out to Shana or me and ask about this. I have been so encouraged by some of the stories I've heard about how useful thieves has been for people. And it's a simple oil. It comes in your premium starter kit. It just proves for me again, you don't need to get fancy. You can create your wellness kit with this premium starter kit. It's really pretty awesome. All right, so this is your center of spiritual connection. Just take a moment in your mountain pose. Create your scent tent. Notice your breath. Is it full and complete? Or more short and ragged? No judgment, just notice. And then if necessary, deepen your inhales and your exhales. Good. We're going to make our way to laying on our backs for an exercise, a polarity exercise called Cook's Hookup. So hopefully that is comfortable for everybody. If not, have a seat and hang out, and you can do the top part that I'm going to cue with your arms. So from seated, you can use this as a little bit of extra core work by using your exhale to slowly, with as much control, lie all the way onto your back. So we're all the way on our backs. You're going to take your right arm, right hand, and bring it under your your left armpit. And then your left arm comes over your right and comes into your right armpit. Your thumbs are outside. Your fingers are tucked under your armpits. You can wash your hands after. Your right leg lifts and comes over your left leg. So if you're seated, you can just bring your hands under your armpits. As much as you can, you're going to bring your arms by your sides and draw your elbows toward the earth. They likely won't reach, but that's okay. So again, your throat connects to your spiritual connection and the element of ether. We're going to use this opportunity in this Cook's Hookup. This is it, pretty much. You're going to close your eyes and just tune in for about a minute. Your mind wanders at all, you can bring it back to your breath. Sometimes it's useful to establish a slow count for your breath, perhaps inhaling to a count of 4. And then matching your exhale. That can be a useful tool for keeping focused on breath. Take another inhale. On your exhale, you'll uncross your arms and legs. Bring your elbows by your sides, and your hands, fingertips are reaching up. Your sacrum is ironed onto the mat if you're laying on your back. Your navel is in, your bottom rib tips wrap to your back. And your front ribs then have a tendency to want to splay open, and you'll knit them back together. Just take a moment here. You may have a higher power you connect to, maybe useful to honor and acknowledge that higher power. Ask for wisdom as you use that throat chakra. Ask yourself to honor and remember that your throat chakra is your spiritual connection. May your words be divine always. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Give some wiggle and movement. And you'll slowly roll to your side to make your way up to seated. You don't need to come to standing. Take a moment in seated. You can come to standing in mountain pose if that works for you. Otherwise, in seated position, root your sit bones down, reach the crown of your head up, and take a moment just to notice what's true for you. Good. Blink your eyes open, give me a wave or comment or unmute yourself if you have anything you're wanting to share. All right, we're doing great. Next up is our frankincense. So we're actually going to use frankincense for both our third eye and our crown chakra. Frankincense is a very grounding oil. In ancient times, it was as valuable, if not more, than gold. It's also great for your skin, wonderful immune support. It's one of my favorites. Put some in your left hand. We've got a couple of things we're going to do to activate our third eye. The element that corresponds with your third eye, this is your sixth chakra. It corresponds with kind of the center of your forehead. It's your center of knowing. The element that corresponds with it is light. So create your sentent once again. Close your eyes. Tune in. Notice what's true for you here. Good. We're going to activate our third eye in child pose. Again, if that is not comfortable for you, no worries. You can remain in seated and just focus on the third eye. If child's pose is something that feels like it will be okay for you, you'll swivel your hips one direction and your legs the other and come to hands and knees. Your big toes touch, your knees are out wide if you want more hip stretch. They're closer together if you want more of a lower back stretch. You'll sit your hips back toward your heels. If they don't reach, don't worry, but if you have a blanket or a pillow nearby, you may grab that and put it between your hips and your heels. You're reaching your hips back toward your heels, which doesn't mean that they're touching, and lengthening forward. You do actually want your forehead to make contact with something. So if it's not quite reaching the earth and you don't have a block or a Harry Potter book around, maybe you bend your elbows and use your forearms as a pillow. The pressing of your forehead into a block or the earth or your arms allows the activation. So this is the corresponding element is light. It's also your center of vision. Please forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but I do believe that we are all born. We all come into this existence with vision. It gets clouded over. You can use this posture, your deep knowing, and the oil and help you reconnect to your vision. Your vision, your higher power's vision for you. What if we remember to check in with ourselves and know if our actions are in line with our vision? Good. Some of you may be very comfortable here and want to hang out here for some more breaths. I'm going to bring us up onto our feet for wide-legged forward fold otherwise. So you'll inhale back to hands and knees, and you can exhale however you'd like to get to standing. My favorite way is to untuck my toes and come to down dog. So you can come to moving your hips one way and your knees the other, make your way to standing. If you're in down dog, you'll gaze forward, bend your knees. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, knees bend, arms reach back like skiing. And exhale, mountain pose. I should probably explain that I am a vinyasa yoga teacher, so I need everything to link and flow together. All right, so we're going to use our wide-legged forward fold to also activate that center of vision. You can turn, if you're using a yoga mat, you can turn to your left or right so that you are facing the long edge of your mat. Since I'm facing you this way, I'm just going to take my feet out wide. So your feet are out wide. Maybe if you take your arms out long, if that's comfortable for you, your feet are maybe out as wide as under your wrists. So maybe your heels, your ankles line up with your wrists. Take an inhale here, grow long and tall, crown of your head up to the sky. Tail down. As you exhale, you'll send your hips back, reach the crown of your head forward. It might be nice to bring your hands to your thighs and again, rotate them inward. You want a nice long spine. Your hands can stay as you continue to breathe at your thighs, or maybe they come to your shins, or eventually maybe the earth or the outside edges of your feet. Your first objective here is your breath. The second is your long spine. Eventually, the crown of your head reaches the earth, and you'll be set up for a headstand if you'd like. Maybe not today. Take a couple of breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips if they're not there already. And on your inhale, with a nice long spine, you'll rise up. Toe heel your feet back together, finding your mountain pose. Crown of your head up toward the sky, tail down, root down, rise up. Close your eyes and know what's true for you in this moment. Take a full breath in, grow long and tall. Exhale, release your hands, flutter your eyes open, give a wiggle. You've done such an awesome job. Give me a wave, comment, anything you'd like. We're going to move into our seventh chakra, which is your crown chakra. So you did third eye, and this is crown. This is your center of knowledge. Isn't that interesting that it's different from vision or understanding? You'll come back to laying on your, or you'll come back to sitting on your mat preparing for Shavasana. If you have enough frankincense already on your hands, don't worry about it. If you would like to grab a little more, you are welcome. You might even, if you'd like, drop a drop on the crown of your head. Activating your crown chakra, your knowingness. Good, so we have a couple of more minutes. If there is any yoga posture or anything you need to do to allow yourself a couple of moments in laying down meditation, then go ahead and do that. I'm going to cue us into it and then bring us out of it. It's not a very long Shavasana. So from seated, you may use this as another opportunity for a little bit of core work by exhaling. Take an inhale first, obviously, and then exhale slowly with control, lower all the way onto your back. Traditional Shavasana, legs are out long, feet are splayed out, shoulders are down your back, arms are by your side. If this is not comfortable for you, you may bring your legs up the wall, you may bend your knees, you can have your feet together and your knees out wide or just your knees bent. You want some way of being able to release your physical body and connect to that divine sense of knowing. Close your eyes. Let your breathing be normal and do your absolute best to think of nothing. I will cue you out of it in a couple of moments. Good. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Move your hands on your feet. Nope, hands on your wrists and feet on your ankles. And switch directions. Stretch your arms and legs long or hug them in or one and then the other. And then with your eyes still closed or your gaze soft, make your way to either side that you prefer in the fetal position. Take a moment here. Allow this posture to symbolize a renewed connection between your breath and your intention, between your heart and your brain. A renewed activation and flowing of our 7 major energy centers. Move your arms to press yourself into a seated posture. Rooting your sit bones down, reaching the crown of your head up. Your eyes still closed or your gaze soft. Bring your hands together at your heart center. With your heart to your thumbs, press your thumbs to your heart. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up. To share gratitude for all those who have shown up with you. We'll seal our practice and our time together with a single Om. Take a big breath in and a deep breath out. Breath in to prepare or to listen. Om. Thank you so much for showing up with me, for each other, and for yourselves. I'm going to stop the recording, and then hopefully people can share some things that you like, some feedback that you have, how you're doing. I'm so glad to have us all here. So I'm going to end the recording if I can figure out where it is. Why am I having trouble? Stop. Okay. Stop recording.